morning, Year 1. It's Monday, the 18th of January, 2021. It's lovely to see you all. I hope everyone is well. And I'm here today to go through today's English lesson with you all. What are we learning today? We are learning to write a sentence or sentences in the first person to create a diary entry. Wow, there sounds like there's quite a lot in there, doesn't it? Write a sentence or sentences in the first person to create a diary entry. Let's move on and see what it is we're going to have to do to be successful today. Well, we're going to start off by going back to our class book that we started last week, and we're going to continue with this book today. So I want you just to have a look at the screen and you will see a little picture there. And this is another illustration from our lovely book that we've been focusing on. Just have a really good look at that little picture, that little illustration. You can pause the video here if you would like to. And here you have a slightly bigger version so you can get a bit more of a close-up look at what's going on. Have a really good look. What can you see? I can see a robot. I can see a robot who looks like he has his head in his hands like this. I can also see a finger pointing on the other side of the circle. He looks like he's pointing at the robot. The robot definitely doesn't look very happy. He has his head like this in his hands. What do you think? Feel free to pause the video and have a really good look at this point. So look really carefully at the body language in this illustration. What feelings does it convey? How does it make you feel looking at it? Have a look at that pointing finger. There's a lovely big pink arrow on the screen that's pointing at that pointy finger. Who do you think that pointy finger belongs to? What do you think they're saying to the robot? How do you think the robot feels about this? How do we know? Really look at that illustration and try and get as much information from it as you can. There isn't a right and wrong answer here. I just want you to use your imaginations and really think. What do you think? Let's have a look at the rest of the double page spread from the book. So you can see here on the page now, we've got the little circle image with the finger pointing and the robot with his head in his hands. But there's also lots more going on that page. What else can you see? Don't worry about the text for now. We're not focusing on that. We're just having a look at the picture. What can you see? I can see a big heap, a big pile. It looks like a big pile of rubbish. And it looks like our lovely friend the robot is now sat right on top of that pile of rubbish. Wonder what he's doing there. I'm going to read the text to you from that page, and that might help you understand what's going on in this illustration a little bit more. So just listen for a moment. You can follow with your finger at the top if you can. So he was sent to sit on the scrap heap with all the other old machines. He tried talking to them. He said, "My heart was broken, you know." But they didn't answer. What do you think that means? I'm going to read it to you again. Really listen to those words. So he was sent to sit on the scrap heap with all the other old machines. He tried talking to them. He said, "My heart was broken, you know." But they didn't answer. So what is a scrap heap? Well, I think a scrap heap, it looks like a big pile of rubbish. And it looks like maybe that big pile of rubbish is made up of other old robots who have been sent there. What do you think the robot is thinking while he sat there on top of the scrap heap? Have a look at the size and the scale of that pile of rubbish. Is it a small pile of rubbish, or is it a huge pile of rubbish? How do you think that the robot feels sitting on top of that huge pile of rubbish? How would you feel if that was you, sat up there, all alone, trying to talk to the other robots and not getting any response from them? What do you think's going to happen to the robot now? So your main task today is to write a diary entry for the robot. You will need to imagine you are the robot sat on the large pile of rubbish. Now that's where our waltz comes in, and we talked about writing in the first person. The first person means that you are going to pretend to be the robot. So you're not going to be writing sentences that say the robot felt sad. You are going to write sentences that say, I feel sad, because you are going to take on that character. You are going to pretend that you are the robot and that you are writing about your experiences. What is a diary entry? Perhaps you haven't heard about a diary, but sometimes diaries are used for people to record their thoughts, their feelings, and sometimes just to record what they've been up to. Often a diary starts, just like the example here, with Dear Diary. Today, this is just an example, I'm going to read it to you. Today I went for a lovely swim in the cool Pacific Ocean. Jonah took care of me in room 17. I met my friends Otto and Edic, who are also otters, but much bigger. Bye for now, Eddie. Now you will see that the person who wrote this used the pronoun I. They are pretending to be Eddie to write this piece of writing. They started with Dear Diary and they finished off, bye for now, Eddie. In your case today, you would write Dear Diary, then you would share your thoughts, pretending to be the robot, imagining you are sat on top of all that rubbish alone with no one to talk to. And none of the other robots are talking to you. Everyone's ignoring you. How are you feeling? So you might write a sentence if you can. Maybe you're going to write sentences. Maybe you're going to be able to write a paragraph. But I'd like you to try and finish your writing off with bye for now, the robot, because you are going to pretend to be the robot. So why might someone record their thoughts and feelings in a diary? A diary is written in the first person, meaning you are pretending to be that person. In this case, the robot. You will need to use I rather than the robot. You are pretending to be the robot. And I really would like you to see you start your diary with Dear Diary, just like in the example. Now, if you are worried about this and you're thinking that that sounds a little bit tricky, please don't worry, because if it is a bit tricky, you can write a thought bubble for the robot. So rather than writing a whole diary entry, you can do a nice big bubble, ask a grown-up to do a nice big bubble like on the screen, and you could just maybe write a word to describe how he's feeling, or even a full sentence if you can. Just remember, the most important thing is you are pretending to be the robot. I want you to write in the first person. So you might write in your bubble, I am sad. I am lonely. Try and remember to use the pronoun I. Now, if you would like to really challenge yourself today and you've completed all those tasks already, I would like you to see if you can read your sentences back and think to yourself, have I used the correct punctuation? Have I got full stop capital letters in the right places? Have I remembered finger spaces? Does it make sense? Could you edit and improve your own work? Maybe choose a different colour pen. and maybe make some corrections, maybe circle some words that you think you could improve and put an alternative next to it. But have a go. See if you can edit and improve it. But you must remember to write in the first person. So I'm looking to see you using the pronoun I. So let's reflect. If everybody's finished and everyone's had a go at that, have a think. What was our what today? We are learning to write a sentence or sentences in the first person to create a diary entry. Have you been successful? Have a think. Can you say a sentence in the first person? Can you write a sentence in the first person? Can you create a diary entry? If you can say yes to any of those statements, then yes, you have definitely been successful today, and I am sure all of you have. Please share some of your work by emailing to us. We hope you have enjoyed your English learning for today, and I look forward to seeing you a bit later on in the week. Take care, everyone. Bye.